Hey everybody, this is Captain Yeet here for you for another Danny Phantom episode review. This is gonna be Danny Phantom season 3, episode 11, titled Destabilize. So let's get into it. So this episode starts off with Danny. Remember the clone of Danny Phantom? That's a girl. Well, she's coming back into Amity Park and she's looking for Danny because, well, she's not looking too hot. She's starting to melt into goo. And the last time we saw her, she was only melting into goo if she overused her powers. But now she's getting so weak to where she's melting into goo just for doing nothing. So hopefully Danny Phantom, her cousin, can actually help her to figure out how to help her out, to stabilize her molecules. And she's also worried about Vlad finding her, but she goes, well, there's no way Vlad will be able to know that I'm here because he lives in Colorado and this is Amity Park. Obviously, he doesn't know that he moved to Amity Park. And I just always wonder, like, what was he doing this whole time? Like, where was he? Like, I guess just flying around the country or the world, just doing whatever until she had to come back to, get Danny's help. But I just always wonder what she was doing. Maybe Bugs Hartman said something in an interview or maybe on the wiki. It tells us what she was doing, but I always wonder what she was doing. She never goes into detail on exactly what she was doing in this episode. Anyway, after that, it's revealed that that little spy bug that Vlad had in that like time travel episode when they were like abusing the time travel episode. It was the episode where when we first met Frostbite when he had that travel map that can go through like time portals and stuff. Remember that little spy bug he had on Tucker's backpack? There's one of those in the place where Danny is, and he's watching her. So Vlad thinking to himself, okay, this is kind of interesting. I didn't think she'll ever come back. I need to get her back, but I can't just fly out there and get her. I need somebody else to do it. But who? With a little convincing from his cat named Maddie. It's so crazy. He thinks to himself, that's right. I can get Valerie. So he calls Valerie in and he tells her a fake story about how this ghost, Danny Phantom, which gets her a little confused because it sounds the same, Danny, Phantom. Anyway, this ghost in particular is very, very dangerous. This ghost knows that I'm hunting ghosts and is coming after me to kill me. So if you're able to take out this ghost and bring it to me, then I'll give you a big money reward and I can get you and your dad out of the apartment. And when he said that, I was like, what? We know, remember, he lost his job at the lab when that dog episode, when that ghost dog came that can get really big. He lost his job. I mean, yeah, he lost his job at the lab. So they had to go into like this rundown apartment. But the last time I remember, he got that security job at the lab. And his boss was like, if you do good here, I'll let you get your scientist job back and you can make the big bucks, you can make the big money. And I mean, he was so at the line. Because that episode with Technus, when they were flirting together, Valerie and Danny, he was still at the lab. So I thought they were out of the apartment or he was still making good money. I thought they would been out of here, but I guess not. I guess he's not a good security guard or something. I don't know, but see, they're still in that rundown apartment. So obviously Valerie's like, so well, one, she wants to hunt down a ghost because it's a ghost, and two, yeah, so like this money so she can get, out of the apartment. And I also was like, I thought they were on bad terms, Valerie and Vlad. But it's been a while. It's just been a while, so I don't know. I can't remember the last time these two have interacted. But after that, we get the theme song. After the theme song, we cut over to Danielle, and she's trying to eat some apples. Well, trying to steal some apples because, well, she's very hungry, and she's gonna need her strength to go find Danny again. Valerie finds Danielle, but Danielle de-transforms to steal the apples. And Valerie's really confused because, her ghost scanner just said the ghost is right here, but she doesn't see anything. There's a little funny joke to where Danielle, she makes her hands invisible. He did the apples, and when the guy catches her stealing the apple, he goes, "Hey, show me your hands. What you got?" And obviously her hands are gone because he puts up nothing, and he freaks out and runs away. So Valley flies down to protect Danielle. In her mind, she's thinking, "Okay, this evil ghost is around here somewhere. Somewhere. This evil ghost is around here somewhere and is tracking down this little girl. I need to protect her." But Danielle sees Valerie and runs away and goes to this old rickety building. It's so rickety to where as soon as he walks in, there's like a floorboard that's like shifting. They step on it and it moves a pillar and it basically makes the whole roof shake. Like this place is super unstable. And Danielle hides behind like a table. Valerie walks in. She steps on that same floorboard and it's just too much. The whole building starts coming down. Obviously, Danielle is a really nice girl, so she runs in, goes, grabs Valerie and goes invisible. And Valerie's like, "What? So you're a ghost and a human?" She goes, yeah, you're welcome. And then she pulls out like these ecto handcuff thingies and handcuffs Danny. And then we cut to the next scene. And all the Danny like, what are you doing? I just saved you. What is your problem? But she wants that money. And in her mind, because of Vlad, she's like an evil, evil ghost. I don't know why she doesn't like stop to think of it. Well, I mean, I guess it's like in the heat of the moment. I was like, why doesn't she just stop to think, like, wait a second, this evil, evil ghost that wants to kill this guy just saved me. A ghost like that wouldn't just save somebody, but it's like the heat of the moment. She's like, "Oh, I found you, handcuffs. You're done. Just go ahead and get her, get her up." So after that, we cut over to Danny, and Jack has made this new invention. It's called the Ecto. Uh, no, not Deflecto. Dang it! I sort of practiced this before I started recording. It's called Ecto Dejecto. I was kind of right. Anyway, this is basically like this serum in a syringe. And whenever you inject it into a goat, it's supposed to weaken it and take away its power slowly, slowly until eventually it disintegrates into nothing. And they have this little ghost blob in a container. Jack injects it with the Ecto Dejecto, and it actually starts to get smaller and smaller. It starts to look weaker, but eventually it starts growing and growing and growing and turns into a big monster. With the help of Maddie and Danny, Jack is able to push her into this huge containment facility and lock the door. Jack goes, I don't know why I can't work up the kinks with this thing. Maybe need a bigger needle. When he says that, the camera pans out, and there's a ton of monsters in this containment facility. He's been he's been trying to do this for a while. Now he has like a huge box of monsters just in his lab. So Danny goes, can I leave? And Maddie goes, oh yeah, I don't want you to get contaminated. I don't want you to get hurt with all these monsters around. Danny goes, thank you, and he runs away. It's just so funny to me that huge box of monsters. So we run back over to Danielle and Valerie has her chained up, and like I said, it's like this ecto sort of handcuffs around her arms and legs, as you can see right there. Anyway, Danielle is trying to explain that, I'm not a bad guy, I'm good. I'm just trying to go find my cousin, Danny Phantom. And she goes, wait a second, you know Danny? She goes, of course I do. She goes, oh wow, can't wait to go. I can, like, look, I'll let you go. I really want to meet the hero of Amity Park, Danny Phantom. I would love to meet him. Obviously, just lying to Danny. She wants to get close to Danny, so that's two birds with one stone. Getting back at Danny Phantom and bringing her back to Vlad. So she lets Danny go to fly away. And they were having a conversation. Like I kind of toned it down, but it was like a longer scene of her trying to explain, like, I'm not evil. Vlad's the evil one. Obviously, Valerie wasn't trying to hear all that. She thinks Vlad is a good guy. So, I wasn't gonna go in detail, but they said all of that kind of stuff before what I just said. And while they were like arguing, Danny, like I said in the beginning of the episode, she's like using so much energy now. Well, she's barely even doing anything really, besides she's being in her ghost form. But she's just so weak now. She's starting to like dissolve by doing nothing. So she really needs some help because she's just gonna dissolve into nothing any minute now. So we cut over to Tucker, Sam, and Danny, and they're patrolling the city. And while they're talking, Tucker goes, "Wow, I mean, I'm gonna hate to say this, or I guess I'm kind of glad to say this. I guess there's no ghost enemies about tonight. I mean, I guess we're pretty clear." But as soon as he says that, they fly. I mean, they drive past Danielle because they're on the scooters and Danny's flying. It was just so funny because she was sort of just like she was just sort of like standing there, like, well, not standing, but like floating there, just midair. And they drive past her, and they're like, "What the?" What? And they stop their bikes, and they look at Danielle, and then Danielle flies away. I'm like, they met Danielle in the episode before, so I don't know why she flew away really scared. The couple's like, huh. Well, I guess they had like the little earpieces on. Well, I guess the shots on Danny's cousin. Danny goes, my cousin looks up and flies right into her and falls on top of the building. But here's the funny scene. See, she was just sort of just standing there. Well, not standing, just floating there. And they drive past her like, huh? What's that? What was that? What's in that? She just flies away. Like, I don't know why she flew away, but that was pretty funny to me. I don't know why. Anyway, Danny runs into Danielle, like I says, and then Danny says that, hey, I got this one. You guys can go ahead. And Tucker goes, well, I guess we just got blown off. You want to go to Nasty Burger, eat a bunch of food, and put on Danny's tab? And Sam goes, yeah. He's like, what? What did Danny just? What? That's kind of jacked up. You're racking up his bill for no reason. It's not like he blew you off for no reason. His clone cousin came out of nowhere after like months. So I think he has to handle this. But anyway, he helps Danielle out after she fell down, and she just turns into goo. He goes, "Ugh, what's going on with you?" She goes, "I don't know. I need your help. I'm disintegrating." He goes, "Okay, I'll help you. Let's go back to my house." As soon as he's about to fly away, Valerie comes out of nowhere and grabs Danny's leg with like this taser whip thing. And obviously, Valerie reveals that she was tricking Danielle just to get closer to Danny. And then Danielle gets really mad about that, and she activates the taser whip, and it tased Danny and knocked him out. I'm like, what? It's like it happened like two more times in the episode. Oh no, I think one more time where Danny gets hit like one time by something simple, where we've seen him tank before, and he gets knocked out. I'm like, what is going on? Like you are 100%. You are fresh. You wasn't fighting earlier or nothing. Why did you get knocked out by it? I mean, maybe like a really powerful, taser whip. Don't know. But yeah, it just knocks out Danny with like one tase, and then she tases Danielle too, and they both passed out. It really sucks. So Danny, he wakes up and he's like chained up on this, not like chained, but he has like his arms trapped in like these big metal container things, and his legs too, like strung up in this random building. So Valerie says that obviously I gave Danielle to Vlad. He's an evil ghost. And he's like, you have to let me go. I have to go save her. She's not trying to hear any of that. And he goes, what do you even want with me? She goes, well, I am the most powerful ghost hunter in Emily Park. And then he's like, what about the Fentons? She goes, please, the Fentons? Couldn't find a ghost who was living under their roof. Then he thinks for a second. He goes, well, you're not wrong. For him, and she goes, look, I know I'm the most powerful ghost hunter in Amity Park, but knowledge is power. You know everything about ghosts, so I want you to tell me everything about the ghost portals, the ghost zone, how to maneuver in there, so I can finally take out every ghost in existence. Then he goes, and if I don't want to talk, she goes, oh, I have ways of making you talk. Opens up a bag next to her, has a taser gun, and he's like, whoa, things got a little intense, this kind of bad. So we cut over to Danielle inside of the laboratory. And it was kind of funny because Vlad has her like strapped down and Danielle's like trying to get out of it. And she goes, what's up with you and like examination tables? Huh? You just always put me in these things. And Vlad walks over to her while she's melting away a little bit and scans her. And he has the Maddie program again. He like upgraded it. So it scans her and it says like her molecular density is like 20 to 50% when she's like fluctuating. Remember, she can like dissolve, and she really focuses, she can push herself back together. And then her ghost energy, ecto stuff is like around the same levels. And Vlad, he's very confused. He goes, huh? With those kind of ratings, she's only like slightly better, just barely, than all the other clones. But all the other clones dissolved in like an hour or two. Danielle's been surviving and intact for like the past few months. Why is that? And Danielle goes, did you do something, like make something in your lab to fix me? He goes, oh, no, no. I've been doing way more important stuff. But it is interesting how you've been able to survive for so long. So I guess the only way for me to figure out why you've been able to survive for so long is for me to melt you down and look at your DNA. Obviously, she's like yelling and spazzing that she doesn't want to be melted down, but obviously, it's Vlad. He's a bad guy. He doesn't really care what she has to say, but he just starts laughing. We got back over to Danny. He's getting tortured by Valerie, just constantly shocking him. And Danny trying to tell her that Vlad is the bad guy. She's not trying to hear any of that. And Danny's like, does he look evil to you? Like, has he destroyed anything? And Valerie goes, she said the exact same thing to me. He goes, you saw her. She was half ghost, half human. She's still a human, just like you. And she goes, no, no. She was also a ghost, and the ghost half is evil, trying to kill Mr. Masters. He goes, are you kidding me? That is a little girl scared out of her mind. And her ghost half is dying off, it's dissolving. The ghost half dies, her human half dies. I know you're okay with destroying ghosts, but are you okay with destroying a human? And Valerie thinks to herself, like, oh man, oh no, I don't think I'm gonna be okay with like killing a human. So Valerie looks at him and they get up and fly away. And they fly all the way back to Danny's house. Obviously, she doesn't. Well, no, she does know this is Danny's house, but obviously he's in his phantom form. So she's like, why are we in this in the Fenton laboratory? He goes, well, my dad Jack makes some good stuff, but they're ghost hunters, not ghost fixers. You'll be surprised what they can make. And he gets the ecto ejecto, but it's not a syringe this time, like a needle. It has like a little spray thing at the top, so he can like spray it. He goes, this should work. So they fly away, but after Valerie flies away, and when they get it, Danny comes back because Jack, he got himself stuck inside that containment center of all the monsters. Then he clicks a button called Flush, where it flushes all the monsters away to the ghost zone. And I also thought it was kind of funny when they first get into here. Danny was holding Valerie's not her hand, but her arm, because he turned her intangible to go through the building, so they don't have to go all the way in. And after they like turn re-tangible, or no tangible, after he like turns off the intangibility and they're like full again, he's still holding her arm while they're looking around, and she looks, she goes, "Get off me!" All right, he's like, "I'm just trying to help you out, trying to get in here." See, she goes, "Huh? Oh, get off me!" I don't know why. I chuckled a little bit when that happened. Anyway, like I said, Danny, he got the ecto dejecto, so now it's time to go to Vlad's house. Well, Vlad is about to experiment on, well, not really experiment, about to like, turn Danny into goo. He has a little spy bug again in the town, and he sees Danny and Valerie coming to him. He goes, okay, this is quite the pickle. I can't have Valerie know who I really am and that I'm evil, and obviously Danny's gonna come here and he's gonna put a whole wrench into what I'm doing. I got a plan. He clones, not clones though, he makes a duplicate of himself because we know he can do that. He de-transforms and have his clone flies out to fight Valerie and Danny. So while they're fighting, Danny gets hit once. He gets hit once with a ghost ray from Vlad. He gets sent flying into a bookshelf. The bookshelf falls on him. He goes and he transforms. I was like, yo, what? You took bigger hits than that. What? Get up, Danny. Like, what are you doing? Why did you de-transform? The other part of me was like, okay. Now, like 10 or more minutes ago, Danny was just getting tortured by Valerie, getting electrocuted over and over. So, okay, he might be a little weak. He didn't seem too weak when he got out of the chains, flying around and stuff. Well, he might be a little like wobbly from getting electrocuted. He doesn't say that, but maybe. Okay, so he has somewhat of an excuse. Beforehand, when Valley first caught them in the streets, she barely touched them, so no. But yeah, that's what's happening. Anyway, Valley fights the clone for a little bit. Eventually, the clone flies away, goes back into the lab, pulls a lever, and starts to electrocute Danielle. And she starts screaming like I remember watching as a kid. Even now, my heart was like pumping because she's like screaming her lungs out. She's turning into goo at the same time. Oh goodness, this is kind of intense. Like this is really intense. It was kind of sad. Anyway, Danny was passed out for like 1 minute, maybe 30 seconds, and he wakes up when he hears Danielle scream. He goes, "What the? Oh, Danielle!" So he goes. He flies down there, and Valerie, she just watching. Even Danny's like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you just watching her get electrocuted? Do something." What is the problem? And then she hears Vlad. So when Vlad made a clone of himself and he de-transformed, he ran into like a room closet off to the side and locked himself in. And he's banging on his side like, oh, please help me. I'm trying to hit that little girl, but the big mean ghost Vlad brought me in here. And Valerie goes, see, I told you he was good. And she goes to save Vlad. Told him before that, because he started knocking as soon as Danny flew down here. Before that, and not like that 10-second interval, that wasn't happening. So she was just standing there watching. And then like, what are you doing? like doing them for no reason. So anyway, after she saves Vlad, the ghost half starts to fight Valerie. Then he flies down to Danielle and starts to shoot like the um I don't know, like the cuffs, she's pinned to a wall and electrocuted. So like the metal bar things, like he shoots them with the ghost rays, but the ghost half of Vlad is saying like those things are very very tough. The simple ghost rays are going to be able to get right through it, but then he's like trying harder, trying to break through it, and he just can't. And then you're like screaming while she's dissolving, like, "Man, please help me!" I'm trying. Again, freeze it. Last episode was the last episode. No. The episode before that, Frightmare. he was using his ice powers like every 2 seconds. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but we didn't really see him use his ice powers like that. But in that episode, and they was like it was Ice City, man. Ice, ice. He was using ice every 2 seconds. He doesn't think about using ice here and breaking it. So, like I said, Danny, no matter what he does, he just can't break through this. So he's like, okay, do you trust me? And she goes, yeah, of course I do. I don't really have any option right now, but obviously he trusts Danny. So he pulls out Dejecto. Since he was making those things grow before, maybe it could help Danielle with her whole molecular problem. So he sprays her once on her arm. I would think you need to spray her a lot more, but he sprays her once, but it doesn't work. She just keeps dissolving. She goes, so sorry, Danny. Only that's gonna work. Thank you for. And then she just fully dissolves into a puddle of goo. And then he goes, no, no. Like I'm telling you, man, I was 12. But for like the next 30 seconds, I was like, no way. And not just do this. It was spazzing once he turned into a puddle of goo. And I was like, Danny's like spazzing. He's breaking down. I'm like, oh my goodness. There's no way they just did that. There's no way. Once he comes back, I think the hospital was able to work. And she's able to fully regenerate herself. And she's as new. Like I said, I would assume she'll probably need more than just one spray, but I guess that stuff is really strong. That stuff is really strong the way that's all it took. All they see thanks Danny, she hugs him, he's hugging her back. Oh, like, thank goodness. Oh, and Valerie, she needs some help. She's still getting chased around by the ghost clone of Vlad. So Danielle gets up and starts boxing with him. And I love this one scene to where she punches him into the ceiling. And then after he gets out the ceiling, he's looking around like, where is he? And she grabs his cape, spins him around, and throws him through like 5 stone pillars. Okay. Let's see you. She going crazy on him. Boom, 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 boom. Against the wall. After that, she makes like a ton of these like ghost ray balls in her hands and on her feet and throws them at him. She throws like 5 to 6 of them. And we get Vlad's point of view when I'm about to hit him, and he jumps out the way and dodges, like, does a flip, back flip, like he dodges all of them. He goes, you missed. She comes out of nowhere. Boom. Just into the wall. I didn't miss that time. She kicks it back in. Oh, that was funny. You missed. Mm. That was hilarious. So anyway, after that, Valerie and Danny walks up. Danny tells Valerie to take Danielle out of here. He'll handle Vlad. And after they fly out, the human Vlad walks out, absorbs his clone. Oh wait, Danny goes, so you're a real actor, huh? You're like, you got them, you got these Valerie fooled so much. He goes, yeah, I couldn't really have her reveal it. I couldn't really reveal myself in front of Valerie. And she's the perfect pawn. Pretty good ghost hunter. And Danny's awfully mad about trying to kill Danielle. And Danny kind of not threatens to reveal Vlad's identity, but he goes, hey, if you reveal me, I will reveal you. And he just goes, stay away from Danielle and flies away. When he flies away, he's like, Valerie, where's Danielle? Danielle? She just pops up out of nowhere. I guess he was like, invisible. He goes, ooh. That makes Danny jump back, and they just both start laughing. He was real funny. Real funny. Real comedian. What's even more funny is Valerie, Danny's like, Valerie, where is she? Where is she? And she just doesn't say anything. She's just standing there like a brick. And he goes, where is she? Where is she? Boom. It was perfect. It was perfect. Perfect. It was perfect. I gotta rewatch that. What is that? 23:53. I gotta that was perfect timing. Oh my goodness. Ooh, she's popped up. Anyway, obviously she thanks Danny for saving her, and then she says that she has to go out and well, she doesn't really explain what she's doing, but she's about to go back out into the world. Only Danny just tells her to be careful, and she will. She kisses Danny on the cheek and flies away. And Danny goes like this. I was like, what are you doing? He goes, a deal's a deal. You let me go so we can go see Danielle. I said I'll let you recapture me and tell you everything you want to know. Valerie goes, nah, whatever. You just go ahead and leave. Really? Then he goes, okay. So he flies away for like 2 seconds, and then she shoots him in the back. He goes, ah, the. She goes, hey, don't make, don't let me know. It's like, what in the world? She goes, hey. Like, don't let you think like this is like a like truce or whatever. Like, I'm still on you tomorrow. He goes, hey, I'll be ready. And flies away. I could have sworn the last time they were cool with each other because the Skullcrack episode literally sold Valerie. Danny Phantom was cool. Like, he's a good guy. The episode when Technus was going crazy, so Danny Phantom was a cool guy. He was like, on the good side. And like the Ghost King episode, like there's so many episodes where I mean, well, I guess he was mad because she got anything got revealed. But still, there were so many episodes where it's sold like, Danny Phantom is cool, he's a nice guy, but still, she's like, I hate him. He ruined my life. I mean, you got the dog kind of messed everything up, but still, like he's a good guy, but it's whatever. So after that, Valerie thinks to herself, "Oh my goodness, Vlad Masters! Like I left him down there with the ghost. I wasn't even thinking." Because he flies down there, and she goes, "Vlad, Mr. Masters, you okay?" And then she hears Vlad Masters talking to the Manny program, basically like, "Oh, this is ridiculous. Look at this mess. I can't believe he got away with Danielle." But it was pretty easy to trick Valerie. She's just so stupid for a pretty smart girl too. I can't believe how easy it was. Then he transforms to his ghost form and flies off. And Valerie goes, "Oh my goodness, Vlad Masters, it's Vlad Plasmius." And she flies out of there. So I can't believe it. The Phantom was right. He's a bad guy. Oh man. Well, don't you worry. Next time I'm hunting for ghosts, I'm on you. It's on the site. So after that, we cut over to Jack, and Danny was able to get him out of the not get him out, but he was able to flush all the ghosts away that was inside the containment chamber. But Jack is still inside of the containment chamber, and he's stuck in there, and he can't get out. And he's like banging on the wall, like, "Hey, I need to use the bathroom. Somebody help me, please! I can't get out of here." And then credits. And that's the last episode. I mean, no, that's the last scene. I'll see you here next week for the actual last episode, Phantom Planet. This episode is 49 minutes, and I thought I would have to live stream it because it's so long. But I went back to look. The Evil Danny episode was actually 49 minutes. I was able to record it, so I can just do that too. I can't believe this is the last episode, man. I'm gonna be so tore up when I do this. I remember when I was done doing Teen Titans the last episode, after I was done recording it, I got made the thumbnail. I was gonna upload it that night at 12. I wanted to go help my cousin what was I doing? What was he doing? Him and his mom, yeah, him and his mom came down to where I live, and they bought a house here, and they were gonna rent it out for money. So I was helping them, like, get furniture in there. So when me and my mom were driving to the house that they bought to, rent, like I wasn't like crying, but I was thinking to myself, wow, like I'm actually done doing Teen Titan. Like this is so sad. I've been doing this for so long, rewatching my favorite cartoon. I was like kind of depressed. I was like, what am I gonna do after this? Like, I was the same way after Code Lyoko, Avatar. Like, doing these was so fun because they take so long, but time flies. And now I'm on the last episode. Like, I literally started this last April, if I'm pretty sure. I think I started. I think my actually yeah. On my phone. Yeah, let me pause it to check when I did my first episode review for Danny Phantom. Okay, my first episode review for Danny Phantom was April 29th. So I'm not gonna get anywhere near that for the final episode review, but it's still cool. I'm probably ended late late March, almost April, which is almost a full year, which is crazy. And I just looked it up. The very first episode date for Danny Phantom Mystery Meet was April 3rd. I'm kind of close, almost a full year. Whew, which is crazy. Like I said before, I was thinking about redoing Avatar: The Last Airbender and Code Lyoko season one. I'm gonna hold off Avatar. I'm gonna still do Code Lyoko. I'm gonna wait for those two because I got a lot on my plate because I got to do my my two cartoons because I got to do a new one. I'm doing with Danny Phantom. Then there's anime called Fire Force season three is coming out for that next month. I want to do that, and then Blue Exorcist. I reviewed season two, three. I'm doing four right now. And I gotta do season five. So that's gonna yeah. There's a lot on my plate. There's a lot on my plate. Plus, whatever, and plus the manga reviews for One Piece and Kodorabachi. Plus whatever gaming news that comes out or movie news. I'm gonna be on that. And plus the Nintendo Direct is soon. So if anything good happens there, I'll probably make something about that. So yeah, I got a lot on my plate. I got a lot on my plate. So Yeah, and plus, like, I got classes because I should be graduating in this May 13th. I should be graduating from my community college, so I got a lot. I got a lot on my plate. So I'm gonna hold off there. But obviously, I need a new cartoon to do after this. I was thinking about all grown up, but nah, I want to do something where because I don't think I'm gonna have Paramount Plus for too much longer. I could pay for it, but I'm gonna just think about that. And I'm probably do Young Justice. That's on Amazon Prime. I have that. I'm just gonna buy season one. And I've been thinking about doing Young Justice for a while. It's a really long series, so the earlier I do it, the earlier I can get finished with it. Not that I'm trying to get done with it quickly, but the earlier I do it, the more episodes I can get through. Because there's 4 seasons, and each season is like 26 episodes or 20 episodes, so it's gonna be a while. I'm gonna be on that series for a while, so I do once a week. So yeah, I'm gonna be on that series for a while. But yeah, just last episode next week, man. People crazy, crazy stuff. So, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all later. Thank you all for watching. I think all later for being wonderful human beings, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. All right.